Yes, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Bootcast podcast. As always, I'm your host, Justin. I'm here with my fellow co-hosts, Colby and Matt. Colby, as always, man, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I requested that we keep this podcast a little shorter because I have a doubleheader indoor game tomorrow. We went like 2 or 3 weeks without an indoor game, and all of a sudden we have two. And, dude, it's not even back-to-back. Like, one is at 7, and it goes to 7:50. And then I have to wait an hour and 40 minutes to play my next game at like 9:30. I'm like, how? Like, come on. Like, you think our bodies are going to be ready to go? Like an hour? Like, my body's going to be cooled down and tight.
Yeah.
That's probably going to get injured.
I would say you're gonna get injured in the second game for sure.
I'm too old, man.
That is the thing about indoor arenas. They don't respect anyone's time.
At all.
They're like, oh, it's Thursday night. Your game's at 1:30 in the morning. It's like, what the fuck? I gotta work tomorrow.
Dude, we had to quit. We had to quit playing at one place because we got our schedule, and I swear it was like 10:30 p.m., 11 o'clock p.m., 11 o'clock p.m., 10. We were like, dude, no.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, we've been like that. And then as of last week, our new co-host is with us again. Matt, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing good. All of my games got canceled this past weekend and practices and whatnot. So it's been a little bit without some touches on the ball. Not gonna lie.
I would say, was it too frozen?
Well, last Monday we got like 5 inches of snow, and then on Saturday we got an extra inch or two. So it's just like all the stuff that we had planned for the week, practice wise, all the fields were covered.
Oh,
couldn't get any of the snow off. So all of that was canceled. And then obviously Saturday we got more. So kind of canceled everything for the weekend.
That's crazy. We got snow in Texas on Thursday, and by Saturday morning it was gone.
That's nice. I kind of wish that happened.
Yeah, you say that, but it was nice to have real snow for once instead of ice. I will say that. Because we haven't had snow up here for like 2 years straight, like a good snow, like not just like it flurries a little bit. Yeah. So it was kind of exciting, but no, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so let's kind of get rocking and rolling because Colby's being super needy. Did anybody get any new boots this week? I feel like I've been out of the loop. Has anybody picked up anything new? We saw some new releases, but did anybody get anything new?
Yeah, Adidas got me, man.
What'd you get? Show us.
Adidas got me. They didn't come yet, but they're on the way. They're currently in Belgium. But I got the FT Preds in the new red colorway, just like yours, Justin, but with the AG sole plate. Ooh. That was just launched for this new pack. The what is it? Victory.
Pure Victory. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Not gonna lie, did not expect that at all.
Same.
Neither did my bank account. So that was a new pickup, and then I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna get the Copa Icon.
Hell yeah.
Why not? So I got both of those in the same order.
Did you get the white ones or the black ones?
White ones.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice.
Yep.
Now, I know that the both of you kind of had a hard-on for this FT AG Pred. And I'm not in the same camp because I think that the FG is fine. But Colby, now that it's released, the real question is, are you officially going to become a tongue guy now?
I think so. I told you a couple podcasts ago, like the aesthetics have finally hit. Dude, you've converted me. You've converted Substance Football. Like it's just, I don't see it without the tongue. The only one that I told you before, the Teamgeist, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That one looks good with no tongue. But there's a Polar Victory that's coming out. I'll put a picture up on the screen. I think that's the one that's going to get me. And if they have that one in AG, I'm definitely going to get it.
Okay, very nice. I don't think they will. I think that one's going to be like an FG only.
I agree. I feel like it was going to be like the Day Spark pack where they just had like the Elite F50 and then like the FT Pred and from there.
Yeah, I agree. I got some last minute pickups from our good friend Andrew, Mr. Footloose Boots. He sent me, for starters, as a surprise gift, the Unisport Barbershop Puma Puma Ultras. I'm a barber, so I just thought that was super cool. And he was like, I know that they mean something to you. And then I cracked, I traded the Champagne 25s, and I did the unthinkable. I got the Beckhams, okay? So now everybody can say that they were right. I got them, but I didn't buy them. I traded for them. But one thing that I want to point out and that we were talking about earlier is like, okay, let me reach up and grab him. Okay, Rotero. We know the king, right? Look at this. Okay, everybody sees this? Now look at this. What the is this? This is Vapor 1 level right here.
Dude, I told you. I wasn't going crazy. Like, my heels were slipping like mad in those boots.
This looks like my fucking house slippers.
Yeah.
What is this?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was massive. I kept slipping. I was like, I feel like this should be better. And I felt like it was better in the regular, like, Pred 24 that I had. So it was driving me crazy.
Oh, go ahead.
That's actually wild.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. I feel like if I got more than like 15 minutes in my Roteros, I would have been able to notice the difference more often or more right away. But
yeah,
Jesus.
But yeah, long and skinny, short and fat. You know, you can do what you want with those statements and descriptive words right there. But they're gonna look good on display. They probably will never go on feet. So yeah. But those were my pickups this week. And then I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I might, if one of my children wakes me up at 3 a.m. tonight, go for the Champagne Manias. We've gotten confirmation from Unisport, J Mike, Pro Direct, I think too. A couple of people are gonna have them go for sale in a couple hours from us. So,
oh wow,
I may try for them. I don't know if you guys are, but I may.
Justin, quick question: with the DBs now and the Roteros both in hand, are they the same softness?
Well, it's hard because the DBs are new and the Roteros are broken in. That's true. But let me see.
Because I've heard some people think that the Beckhams are softer out of the box than what the Roteros were.
Well, I'm gonna say as of now, the Roteros are way softer.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it could be. I mean, like they even have like all the broken in lines. You can't really tell compared to the Beckhams. But I don't think that honestly they feel that much different overall. Just the tongue. The tongue is real weird. It's tripping me out.
Yeah,
a little short.
It's short, right?
Yeah.
You feel like it's not all the way like pulled out, right?
It creases weird right here. I don't know.
Yeah, because it doesn't give you that little bit of extra past the stitch line. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, they'll look good on display right next to these lovely Jude Bellingham boots, but that's probably where they'll live for the rest of their life till I sell them. But anyways, okay, so let's get this going. Puma came out with a new pack. We just talked about it right before we went live, and I already forgot its name.
It's Puma Unlimited Pack.
Unlimited Pack. Okay, so we saw the future this past weekend on Kai Havertz feet, correct? Black, orange, purple. Very Skechers boot, very Predator Freak from the World Cup. I think it was like the Super Spectral pack or something. What are you guys thinking? You know, not on what the Puma Future 8 is as a boot. I don't care about that. We know it's terrible. What do you think about the colorway?
I hate it. I hate it.
Okay.
Very it's fair. Like, yeah. I like the launch colorway. Like, I know it's like not the greatest boot in the world, but I did like the launch colorway of it. This is just like, dude, how do you go from that to this? Like, it's just so dark and boring, and yeah, it's not my cup of tea.
Not for you. Okay, Matt, what are you thinking about these?
I'm gonna go the opposite route. I kind of like this.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh. I feel like all the ones that it reminds me of, I like those as well. Like the purple kind of orange mix of like that Skechers colorway that came out last year, and then there was one I think you showed me earlier, the Predator Freak, in that purplish colorway. But yeah, I kind of like it. I think it's different from what has currently been. Yeah, those. Yes. It's a little bit different, but also kind of pops a little bit off the black base.
Yeah, for sure. And his all white Arsenal kit, I don't want to say clash in a bad way, but it stuck out a lot. Like you said, it's very Halloween to me. Like, I feel like if these came out in like October, like, do you remember that year that Puma did that Halloween pack and like the
eyeballs?
Yes, the eyes, dude, and all that. This would be great as a Halloween pack.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cool.
Yeah, so it's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite, but I'm kind of in this like middle ground where I don't really care about the boot, so it's hard for me to be excited about a colorway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's true.
It's kind of like if like Colby, you're gonna love this, but like certain cars, I don't like certain cars and how they look, so you can put like the best color, and I'm like, I still don't care. Okay, and then we saw the Ultra 5. It got, I guess I don't want to call it a facelift, but a graphic lift where they changed it to now across like what part of your foot is that? Your medial? Is that the inside?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the
inside,
out.
the medial side.
It says Ultra massive and like a distorted kind of.
Just in case you forget what boot you're wearing.
Yeah, exactly. Like a distorted glyph. What are you guys thinking about that one? What do you think about the Ultra?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I like it.
Okay.
As much as I'm like hating on the name going across it, I actually really like it. I think it's really cool. I like the white with the orange popping and like kind of I like the I don't know what you call it, in like almost like a cartoony like animated aesthetic of like the way the words pop. Like I think it's really cool. And honestly, like I would love to give these a try if not for the sole plate. So
very nice. Yeah. Okay, Matt, what are you thinking about these?
I also really like this. I hate when they always do like the name of the boot that big on the actual boot, but I actually think it works pretty well here. And I think the regular Ultra compared to the Ultra Carbon, I think the Ultra Carbon looks insane with the carbon sole plate. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I really liked it. I always hate using this like descriptive, but it's the best way I can. But it always reminds me of like in the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, whenever they're in the wrong reality and they kind of get all like jittery. That's kind of what the graphics and everything remind me of. So I like it. I think it looks cool. The only thing I don't like is how like their little stripe thing doesn't connect to the bottom of the sole plate. It just kind of floats. It's just one of those things for me. I just don't like
a little pet peeve for you.
Yeah, just kind of like, man.
I don't think I noticed that until you mentioned it, but yeah, now that you mention it, like I can't unsee it.
Yeah, now you're both like, I don't like it anymore.
Well, was the previous version like that too? The previous graphic?
There's been a couple of them that have been like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think only the Kings kind of goes all the way down.
That's okay. That's a good point.
So yeah, again, not terrible, not great. And then I saw the Kings on Xavi. He showed them off a while ago, and they're like solid orange. And they're like orange on orange.
Stink bug on my mic.
Oh, nice. I had a spider a couple weeks ago, and now you have a bug. House is infested.
Yeah, what the heck?
No, the King, I mean, it kind of same thing. It's like, it's a King. Is anybody going to wear it, really? No.
Xavi Simmons. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Harry Maguire. Speaking
a very customized version.
Speaking of Harry Maguire, I didn't get into this.
He had to get that in, huh?
Dude, United, Arsenal, goes crazy. It's crazy. Harry fucking Maguire, bro, with a Leo Messi performance. Dude, and he was calling Kai Havertz and the ref shit. He's like, "You're a shit bag." He's like, "You cheat. You're gonna cheat." I was like, "Oh shit!" And then Ugarte's like headbutting people. I was like, "God, it's Roy Keane, but Uruguayan."
See, this is stuff I miss out on when I don't pay for ESPN Plus. So now you're making me like regret not watching that game,
dude.
It was a good game. Kai Havertz,
it's smelly.
It's the Puma. Dude, it's the future eights. I'm telling you.
I think it's not having Saka. They're so bad.
Yeah,
they're so bad. But yeah, those boots. He was terrible. He's so terrible.
Yeah.
And he's a pro who makes millions.
Dude, Chelsea got away. Chelsea like really swindled one on. I remember that chance. I was like, what are they thinking? Like he hasn't produced for Chelsea like at all. And then you guys got Mason Mount, so like y'all can't talk too badly on Chelsea transfers that aren't working out.
Okay, that's unnecessary.
Pulled the number 7 shirt and everything, but it's all good.
Hey, how many non-penalties has Salah scored since after Christmas? I mean,
man, let's don't talk about Salah. Don't talk about Salah, all right?
Yeah, his goals are drying up like that. Hairline's starting to dry up too.
He signs that contract. He's going to score a lot of non-penalty goals. He's just waiting. He's like, I only score penalties until I sign my contract.
Yeah, we'll see. And Verge is going to start putting his hands behind his back again. He's really going to show us why he's the best ever. So anyways, let's keep moving on before I get too distracted. Another boot that came out, I saw him first on Joao Felix, and then I saw Noah did a video for the Ultra Football, and that is the new Mizuno Alpha 2 MIJ. Matt, what are your thoughts on this like very rainbow-tastic boot?
I don't hate it as much as I thought I would.
Okay.
After the initial first views of it. It's not a colorway for me. I'm probably going to wait it out on this one and wait for another one to come out. I feel like I don't need to try these Ultra 2s right away, just because with Puma's lifespan on boots, like these are probably going to be out for at least 2 years. And with, them kind of taking the minimal approach when it comes to changes, I feel like I'm not missing a whole lot based on what the previous version offered. But it is exciting. And I think for a launch colorway, it's good. It sticks out.
Yeah. Yeah. Colby, how are you feeling about these?
I'm not the biggest fan of this colorway. Like, it's almost like a Mizuno like Cosmic Speed. You know what I mean? It's kind of like shiny,
too.
Just so interesting. I do think, just based off of Noah's review of it, it looks like it's going to be more true to size. It's going to be wider. It's going to be more comfortable. Looks like there's going to be like the ultimate lockdown because they have this zero glide technology. Like, it was already like a nice, well-fitting lockdown boot. And like in the Mizuno fashion, they've just improved upon it. They've kept the sole plate the same. So I think a lot of people that had the first Alpha, are going to love it. Especially like people, I was watching James's review as well. And he was talking about how it's a boot that's weird and people can be in between sizes in it. Like you can either go like kind of true to size or half size down. A lot of people choose to go half size down. And this one seems to have corrected that, which is something that Puma could learn from. But yeah, so I'll be excited to try them when they're not $320 US.
Cool. Well, we know that is never gonna happen. So anybody who's listening, Colby is never gonna buy these. That's what he's telling you right now.
Probably not.
I'm a massive fan. Okay, I gotta come out. I'm a massive fan of this colorway. It's very kind of out there, and I thought it was gonna be a little bit more kind of like how the Cosmic Speed, where it was almost more black, and then as you moved it into certain lights, you kind of get that iridescent finish. But I kind of like that it's like rainbow, like I call it like the rainbow bright boot. Like, it's just kind of like out there, and it's different. And my biggest issue when I tried the Alpha one was it was too stiff. So kind of like how I think that the Pred from the 24 to the 25 just kind of made the upper a little bit softer, and for a lot of people that's definitely changed how the boot fits, feels, and performs. I kind of think that's where the Alpha is. So I'm kind of like, maybe I will spend $320 and get these, because I've seen the white, kind of like the reverse colorway. It's like white with some of the
that one looks good.
The rainbow
is
is a little bit more subtle. That one looks phenomenal. But yeah, if I can get my hands on these, I'm not against wearing them. So yeah, super cool. Colby, what else? There was something else that you really wanted to bring up.
Yeah, no, it kind of goes along with this, man, because like you said, these are $320. Phenomenal boot from what I can tell. But unfortunately, like when boots end up in this like $300 plus range, it's one of those like, all right, I can get one maybe until I save up for another few months. Or some people, it's going to be like the one boot that they get and they wear for the next 2 years, right? So like in general, in the boot market, are boots overall too expensive?
Matt, I'll let you go first.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say as a whole, top-end boots are probably a little bit too expensive. I think it has gotten better, because there was that point with like the original Superflies from Nike that were like $400, which was just outrageous. And then back when they in 2014, when the first knitted boots came out, like the Magista Ober 1 and the Superfly, then those were upwards of like what, 300, 325 almost. So I do think it's gotten slightly better, but I feel the trend of it going back up again, and I just don't like that. I think top end boots should sit around $200. I think Puma's doing a decent job keeping that kind of as their baseline. Obviously the Puma Ultra is a lot more expensive. But I feel like that's why a lot of people are starting to like try these newer brands coming out, like Sakito, and all these like other, lower tier boots, or not lower tier, but just lower price points that are, improving on their quality to become essentially the same quality standard as the top end, Nikes or Adidas's. So that's where I stand with it. I think it's just slightly too expensive still.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement. I think boots are way too expensive. Like, I get like when you have sometimes like, I always understood when the Pred remakes, for example, were like the $300 to $350, because I'm like, oh, they're like they're kind of Frankensteining this, and I get like, yeah, they're just using old stuff, but they're doing something unique and they're bringing something to people back. But that's when we were getting one remake a year, maybe, and we're like, oh my god, this is awesome. But even those have started to go down in price. I think that the problem that we're really getting to is some of these brands want to charge massive amounts of money for little to no like upgrades, but then you have brands like Adler, for example, who are using like the best, most premium leather uppers that you can get, arguably, and their price ranges are below $200. So it's kind of hard for me to be like, why is the Tiempo Legend 10 Elite, what was it, $220? First off, it's a boot nobody likes. So like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? So yeah, I agree. Like, I think that when the Superfly 4 and the Magista Oper 1 came out, and the old Superflies being 400, over 300 to 400 was stupid. But yeah, I think these brands, now that COVID has kind of died out and the effects of that aren't feeling so prevalent, I think the brands are like slowly starting to creep up, and these boots feel even more expensive because everybody's money is going like less and less further. So it just feels like that divide is going to get massive and massive again.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. I think a big part of it for me is and it's kind of like what you said with the Tiempo. It's almost like a quality for money standard, and like the quality that you're paying for something like an Alpha, right? Like, yeah, like I could see how that could be like $320. If I really wanted that boot, like I would shell out that cash, or for a Neo or something else of that thing. But when Nike's putting a Tiempo in front of you, when they're putting something like the newest Mercurial, GX2, whatever, I don't want to pick just solely on Nike because Puma's doing it too. But when you're paying like upwards of like $260, $280 for like Superfly and the Vapor, and it's a good boot, but like I just don't think that that necessarily matches what you're getting from a product like Mizuno, or even like the highest quality like FT Preds currently. Like I think that that's about right. I don't think people would pay much more for those. I think those are like $280.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people too, because of the way the market's going, it's like you're incentivized to be patient, because like there's no way, like even for us, and we have to kind of stay on top of things. And Matt, I know you just used a 20% off code for Unisport, so like if you have coupon codes, like great, but I don't think anybody, unless Justin, like you said, it's a remake, or like the MIGs that are coming out at 3 a.m. tonight, like I don't think anybody's shelling out full price money to get a boot right away, unless you absolutely have to, or you're doing it for like what we're doing it for, which is social media.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, think about it. Remember when last year, Colby, whenever I first saw the Japan Blue 24s, and you remember I wanted them super bad, and I was like, I'm just gonna wait. If I get them, cool. And this is at the time when FTs were super limited, so they were already kind of selling out, and then all the resellers were selling FTs at 300. Couldn't find an FT cheaper than 300 anywhere. Yeah. And then I randomly came across a website. Somebody had marked them down $200. How do you beat that? So it's just like sometimes those things, like, yeah, you got to search, you got to stay on top of it, but you can find those diamonds in the rough if you're willing to put in the work. Like, that's why I tell people all the time, don't, like, as great as I love these red 25s, don't pay $300+ for them. Like, they're just not worth that.
Yeah. Well, part of the problem there is most of these, bigger retailers now have the exclusions for promos, which for like limited editions, I get that. These are limited quantity. You want the people to pay full price for those. That part I understand. But when it's like just a new colorway that comes out, I just hate when those are excluded for like what seems like at least a month after the release date. And then by then, like, maybe your size might be like one of the popular sizes, like, 9.5, something like that. And then it's sold out by the time like you're ready to buy it, or you have that coupon code you're waiting to use it for. So I hate when that happens. And I feel like these bigger retailers need to stop, excluding just standard colorways from these promotions.
Well, I think another interesting thing that I would love to see the data on is, like, for example, the made in Germany Copa Pure 2, the white one with the magnetic tongue, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How much were those when they came out? 300? Were they somewhere around?
I think they were $300.
$300. Okay. Nobody's buying those. I saw them on I'm not gonna call out the retailer. I saw them on a specific retailer. $300, excluded from promos. They finally took them off that, Nobody's buying them. They discounted them to $200. They had a 25% off. Every size was gone instantly.
It almost makes you wonder, like, there must be, like, let's get all the suckers that are going to pay for this first. Like, let's get all these guys that are going to pay for it, like day one, week one, month one, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we'll bank on losing money after that. Like, there's got to be a certain range where it's like, this is how much we're actually making a profit off of. Mm-hmm. Okay, if this many people buy before we lower the price, great. If not, we'll take the hit. But yeah, it's just, to me, it's a little bit, and it's not just one retailer versus another. It's kind of a lot of the boot market as a whole, but it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of shady to me, dude. I don't like it.
Well, and the hard thing too is, like, I'm a big boot hunter, that. I like to go out to the stores. I guarantee anyone, and I guarantee you too here, anyone that's listening to this, and the next, I'm going to say 6 months to a year, every Ross, Burlington, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, any of those places, they're going to see Legend 10s out the wazoo.
Oh my gosh.
I promise you. The Legend 10 is so bad that boot, you're going to find almost any colorway and almost any size at those kind of places, and they're going to be $20. $20.
Yeah, if you're like the one in like a million people that boot fits you perfect and you love that boot, just wait.
Yeah, do not. That's like even like that blue pair. Colby knows I love them. I found them the other day, they were like $150, and I could get them down to like $120, and he was like, just wait, they're gonna get even cheaper.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, you're right. I gotta just hold out.
But it's kind of wild.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's kind of wild when you do see like a crazy sale for. I think you sent us like SKX01s or something like that, and like you had sent them to me, and I saw $90. I was like, oh, dude, that's a good deal. And
I saw that first too.
Yeah, and Matt and I saw it was actually $135. We're like, you probably waited out a little bit longer, Justin. Like, just give it a little time.
Well, that's how they get you too, because like we both saw $90 first, but then it was like $90 off.
Yeah,
was the deal, and it got me. But yeah, I feel like those will go down too, because that's not even like the 0.2 variation that just came out too. That was the older version.
Yeah, the old one. Mm-hmm. Well, and it's funny too, because like even some retailers, have y'all noticed where it's like add to bag to see actual price, and then you add it to the bag and it's still full retail. You're like, what?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of this, man? Just put the price.
We got him. You're just one step away. Hit that buy button.
Hitting that George Bush.
Do you guys have the is it the Shopify app, the Shop app? Like, that gets me all the time. It's like, hey, just add it to the bag. And it's like, all right, one more click and then you bought it. And like, no. I want to try some promo codes first. Wait.
Yeah, so no, I think we're all in agreement that boots are getting way too expensive for the quality that we are getting back.
Yeah, agreed. And like, I guess and you've said this before, Justin, is like the only way we can kind of like help this problem is to vote with our wallets. But I feel like people are doing that. Like, that's why we're seeing this piled up stack of Tiempos that nobody wants. But it still just seems like it's going to creep up. Like, I'll be really surprised at the Tiempo Legend 11 if it's still made of Fly Touch Plus and not like say it's like no leather at all. Like, I would be shocked if it didn't go up by at least $10 like next gen.
Yeah, which in turn means that the takedowns are going to go up too, which is even worse for some of the people who buy takedowns.
Yeah, and takedowns, like, honestly, and I got to thinking about this because of I was watching the Football Boot Hour, which, please go watch those guys. They're awesome. The pro models, like, in general, like, do you guys, like, how many people do y'all know that actually buy like the pro models of anything, like the first tier takedowns?
I know, like any Julio.
Model. Yeah, Julio.
I know a few people that I play on my BCFC team with, but.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure you've asked them. Do they specifically go looking for the pro model, or is it like, hey, I need boots. These are right here.
I feel like the one guy I know that he has the pro F50s, which essentially is just the different sole plate. That's the only difference with those.
Okay.
And I think he just got those because it was what they had, and it was in his size, and it was pretty much the same. But he ended up having, a lot of issues with them, but that was more or less the same kind of issues that a lot of people ran into with the standard F50 anyway. But yeah, I don't know a lot of people that are just searching that line of boots. I feel like you go in, you can't use your discount codes on the elite versions. So you're like, maybe I'll just get the pros because I like this color and I want it now.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I know a lot of people like on my men's team that they'll just wait for like an old boot to get cheap enough, and then they'll buy it. They have no problem buying older models. You know what I mean? And that's just how their brain works. They're like, I'm not gonna buy like if a takedown's there and I need one, cool. But they're like, I'd rather just you, Justin, go find me some boots that are good that I can get for cheap.
Dude, honestly, like I just want them to start removing certain takedowns so it doesn't take me so long to actually find the boot I want on websites. Like especially like if I'm looking for like even if it's like a boot for my kids and I'm looking for like the like let's say like the Nike Vapor like Club or Academy or whatever. I think Academy is higher than Club. But I'm like looking, I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, oh, that looks really cheap. And then I'll scroll down a little bit more. I'm like, okay, that's the one I wanted. But you have to sort through like all this junk just to get to like what you want. And I feel like a lot of times, like if I'll even search like Pred FT Elite or whatever, and I'll still get like just junk takedowns. It's like just get me to the boot I want. Like I'm so tired of like sifting through all this junk.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that purposely go for those. I just don't know any. You know, and that's kind of where I'm at with those kind of models. Like, I get the appeal of them to an extent. Like, you know, one person, for example, is Josh always says that like, why buy the Tiempo Elite when the Pro is almost the exact same?
Yeah.
And, you know, that's always been where I'm like, oh, okay, maybe. And then James got the Pros, and James is like, no, this is, and he's like bending it in half, and he's like, this is cheese. Like, don't buy this. So now when I see something like that, I'm like, oh, well, now I feel like even more kind of in the dark where I'm like, I don't know who to listen to, what to listen to. Maybe it's that colorway. Maybe it was something like this. So again, it's a very different market, and it's not one that I even want to attempt to try to navigate.
Yeah. I think also like once you've tasted like what an elite model is, it's so hard to go down. Like, cause I've tried that before. Like I think I tried the Tiempo. Yeah. I did try the Tiempo 8 Pros, and it was like, no, like it was like the sole plate wasn't the same. Obviously there wasn't the quad fit or anything in there, but like I think I had been convinced that, oh, like the quad fit's not that important. Like I don't need that. Like this is going to be more of a pure leather feel, and it was way worse. I think that was the last takedown I tried. But my kids like have, so Adidas for the kids actually does have like the Pro models, and those are actually pretty nice. Like the Copa Pro models, the F50 Pro models are really nice, and it's the closest you can get to being like, you know, obviously elite model boots, because even the Pro model boots for kids now are like 150, which is crazy. And I know Justin, your son wears like Pred FTs that are like one, or they're retail 180. I'm sure you didn't pay that, but yeah, can't go higher than that for children whose feet grow. But yeah, that's definitely true. And like I said, for kids it's different because it's just like I mean, they don't last a season. Like my oldest son has gone up from the time he started school to, you know, the grade he's in now. Like this year alone, he's gone up like 2 whole sizes and a half. So it's kind of like, wow, you know, how am I supposed to keep up buying cleats for that? You know what I mean? If I was buying him almost $200 cleats, like it's just no way. Yeah, there's no way. So unless you keep having kids behind that kid like me, then you're good. I have one, and just we're good. We're good. Throw them to the next one. Yeah, I have the hand-me-down boots. Okay, so a question that I have for you guys is certain boots. Okay, I'm like, oh, I love them, I hate them, and I'm sure you guys are the exact same way when you first see them. Have you ever had a boot / colorway that you did not like at all? You were like, that's a 0 out of 10. You saw them on one of your favorite players, and you're like, that's now a 10 out of 10, and I need to buy them.
Oh, that's a good question.
I've got another good question for the end of the podcast. This is a recent one for you. When that Predator launch, the Predator 24 launch orange colorway, the one that was like kind of fuzzy on top, the ones that you got before me. Yep. I saw those on Diogo Jota, and I was like, oh, those look real good, dude. I ended up getting a pair of the non-FT, and I remember like seeing, I was like, okay, those look really good. I need to get these. I'm surprised Jota, not Trent, got you to buy those. Yeah. I don't think Trent started with those. Trent started with his own colorway. Yeah. He started later. His came out later. He had the makeshift white and red ones at that point still. Yeah. Okay. Matt? I think the one that comes to my mind is the original Future, the first Future of the line with the net fit. Yes. And that launch colorway where it was black and then the net was like the Volt, like yellow green or whatever colorway. Okay. Yep. Okay, I can see it in my head now. Yep. Those, when I first saw those first few pictures, I was like, these are kind of ugly.
Not a big fan. And then I saw Griezmann rocking them on pitch, and I was like, I'm buying these today, like right now. But yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
Okay, those are good shouts. For me, mine is the Laser 3, and the Noah called it the Ninja Turtles colorway, but it's like the green Laser 3 with the red. Elements.
Yes,
super awful. But man, Torres and Waza in those, I was like, I gotta have them. I gotta have those boots.
Trying to think if they've done this colorway on a recent model.
They did the green when they
close.
redid it on the Venom.
Yes, it was on the Venom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then like another shout for me too is like the Pogbas. Just I like them because they're Pogba boots, and I've seen Pogba wear them, so I tend to like those. Those are both pretty hideous boots.
Yeah.
Colby, do you have a question that you want to ask the podcast before we close it out?
Yeah, I have a question. Where are my Copa Icon 2s? Where are they?
You want to know?
FedEx.
You want to know where they're at, Colby? You bought from somewhere where me and Matt both were like, "Hey, you should probably stop buying from there." And you're like, "Nah." And now they screwed you over. You got no one to blame but yourself, man.
Yeah. Have you guys ever? Okay, that's actually like good ending question. Have you guys ever gotten anything lost in the mail that's been super important to you? And had to go take into and essentially try to get them back, try to find them.
Oh, I got glasses lost in the mail once. Yeah, I got like 2 sets of glasses a few years ago, and like they just like never showed up. Like it said delivered. I was at home. I was like, great, not there. Called back up, and they're like, okay, like we could do a one-time courtesy, resend you the same glasses. I was like, great, perfect. They sent me the new ones, and like a week after I got the new ones, the old ones just showed up like in my back patio.
Somebody was like, your glasses, bro.
I was like, what? Well, they were still like packaged and everything, and I was just like, this is the weirdest thing. So then I had 4 pairs of glasses for that year.
Nice.
It's great.
That's mental. The only thing that I ever had kind of like that was I bought a Madrid jersey. It was like the home kit. I think it's the 17-18 where they use like the teal. And I bought it from like the official Madrid website, whatever. Waited like a month. Nothing ever came. And so I called, and they're like, oh, yeah, just call your bank. Like, sorry about that, dude. You can place another order. So I was like, okay. So I called the bank. Bank's like, yeah, we'll charge it back. No big deal. I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm not getting that jersey. I shit you not. The next day, that jersey magically showed up on my front door. That's it. That's so minimal, though.
Well, hopefully by the next podcast, I'll have my my Icon 2s. Maybe I don't know if I'm going to get them before Matt. Matt's in Belgium, and he's probably going to get them before
probably.
I do.
Colby's going to answer this question next week when he's like, I got my money back from my Icons. I'm good.
For real.
And then he'll have 2 pairs, and he'll be like, I can't sell them. Okay, before we get out of here, here's the question for you guys, okay? If you get one of your teeth, you have a tooth. If you have one of your feet, you have a foot. Okay? Still with me?
Yep.
If you take one geese, you have a goose. But how come if you take one sheep, you don't have a shoop?
I don't know,
with
man.
that, we're going to conclude this episode of the Bootcast podcast. Matt, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at Burns Boots on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram.
Colby.
You guys can find me at Kicking with Colbs on Instagram and on YouTube.
And you can find me at Texas Cleat Collector on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And I put a pinned comment on my MIJ video. Go half size down, guys. If you've made it this far and you even care and you're going to buy the champagnes, go half size down. And you can find us at bootcastpod. And until next week. Oh, I'm sorry. Go down, hit like, subscribe, smash all those buttons, leave comments, let us know if you think it should be called a Shoop. And until next week, guys.